Okay, why are we not recording?
Actually, went to the hospitality team.
Hey, there's Pam. Hello, I've never met Pam before. Hey, nice to meet you.
She's fixing me. We're
That's
having
good.
trouble getting the recording to start.
Give me my charger.
Hey, Katie, do you see a flashing light?
Recording now.
It is?
Okay, good.
Go ahead. Let me know when you're ready to start the movie.
Okay. All right. So a trip reveal is a wonderful time to take a look at what you liked about your business the year before and what you want to do with your business next year. I guarantee you a third of the people who are achieving the trip this year are achieving it for the very first time. So if you've never earned a trip, Karen's waving her hand, very first time trip achiever.
That's it. 1,000 points away. I got it.
Yeah, I'm in that range myself too. I'm just like, yes, 2 shows on Saturday, 1 show Friday night, 1 bridal shower. I only have 900 points left, and I did 300 of them today, and I'm just starting to count down. So
That's awesome.
I earned my trip by November, so this is kind of like, stressful. Uh-oh, the baby cup. She'll eat plastic. We got to get this away from her. Sorry, the dog has gone after the baby cup. So.
Hey, don't give me that look.
No, just go lay down on your bed. You're being a pain.
We are on the call with Dina. Join us.
Pam's earned a trip before. Katie's earned a trip before. Now Karen's earning her first trip. And I've earned a lot of trips. I know, Cindy,
I earned when they had the vacation certificate where you could go anywhere for a weekend and have the hotel and then an activity there. I earned those several years in a row.
and we have a new consultant. She hasn't earned a trip, but she's going to wave and say hi. Okay. All right. So
Ready?
we are ready to start the trip reveal. We are going to roll that film. She's pouting. Okay, here we go. I think we pushed the okay.
You want me to turn the volume up for you?
We'll never forget. Well, Pampered Chef family today, an exciting destination to reward all achievers for their hard work. When you earn an incentive trip, you and your guests can look forward to unforgettable memories and nonstop fun on us. But don't just take my word for it. Hear from real consultants who've experienced an amazing trip with Pampered Chef.
When it comes to incentive trips, yeah, once you earn one, you didn't ever want to become one. And if you do, it takes a
What you can expect on a Pampered Chef incentive trip is amazing. They pay for the flight, the hotel, transportation from the airport to the hotel. If you would have asked me 10 years ago if we would have been going to Disneyland in California, all expenses paid for, I would have thought you were crazy, and it's absolutely incredible to be offered an amazing experience. Incentive trips with Pampered Chef are amazing. They're unlike anything. You are treated like royalty. It's a testament to the hard work that you do to earn that trip.
We were coming down the and a woman with a clipboard said Penny Parks and family, and I felt like I have gotten there.
What I think is incredible is that just working part-time, Pampered Chef has enabled our family to travel every single year since I've been in the family, which is just incredible.
We've been to so many places on past incentive trips, and no matter where we are, you can count on one thing. Traveling with Pampered Chef is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I bet you're wondering where we're headed next. You ready to find out? Woohoo! Can't wait to share these exciting destinations with you. 2 destinations we've never been to before. First up, our level 1 trip for 2 to Florida's best secret, the enchanting Amelia Island.
Go, baby. Long story short.
You and a guest will enjoy 3 nights at the Omni Amelia Island Plantation Resort. It's located on the southernmost barrier island along the eastern seaboard, and it offers an experience that's unique to anywhere else. You'll be greeted with gorgeous oak trees dripping in Spanish moss, with a lobby that looks directly out on the breathtaking blue Atlantic Ocean. All guest rooms are oceanfront, so you can take in gorgeous panoramic views of the water and watch every sunrise.
Yes.
There are also plenty of on-site activities like swimming pools, golf, spas,
Quick reveal for
tennis, shopping,
the first one is Amelia.
kayak, and you'll also enjoy numerous dining experiences, beach parties, and so much more. Now, if an exotic offshore destination is for your style, you can set your sights to travel with us on our level 2 trip to Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's awesome.
Baby, I would love to go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we
Christopher, this is awesome.
Between Cuba and us. Where's Cuba? You need to go in Miami. You could have found it there. Carolyn beach hands.
Bliss will be yours at the El Conquistador Resort, where you and a guest will call home for 4 nights. You can take in a spa visit for ultimate relaxation, enjoy exotic cocktails overlooking the rainforest, or visit one of the 22 restaurants and lounges for world-class dining. If you're more into being active on your vacations, you're going to be thrilled. You can kayak around a 100-acre private island, a perfect oasis complete with turquoise water and beautiful white sand. Or enjoy horseback riding, mini golf, tennis, and water slides. And as a special treat for our top 100 overall point achievers, you'll get to stay 1 additional night in this tropical paradise and enjoy an exclusive group event. How exciting is that? You can start planning right away. Having a goal will help keep you focused, and earning points will feel so rewarding. So let's hear from Chelsea Hacking about how she earned the 2015 incentive trip to Atlanta's Paradise Island.
The night I got home from conference, I told my husband I was going to earn the Atlantis trip, and I had to do it by December 31st, and that I already had 15,000 points. His eyes widened and he said, "So you need almost 55,000 points in less than 6 months." I said, "Yes." He said, "Okay." I immediately made a plan that was monumental in my success. I focused on recruiting and sales combined. I changed my thinking from accidental to intentional, making sure each new consultant was getting off to a strong start. I recruited 18 people from July to December. I refused to allow negative self-talk, doubts, selfishness, and fear to cloud my thinking, my goals, and ultimately what I knew my potential was. It was November 3rd, and I had earned Atlantis.
July to November.
I couldn't have done it without a support system, my family, and my faith. Whether it's your spouse or someone else, I encourage you to find that person who will support you and hold you accountable for your goals and actions. So how was Atlantis? It was truly paradise. Beyond words, amazing. My husband kept saying, "This is the trip of a lifetime." I kept reminding him it was the trip of the year. That this is something we can do every year. From snorkeling in the clear, beautiful waters, swimming with dolphins, eating delicious food, dancing, deep sea fishing, and spending time with amazing people. Every moment was memorable. I will never forget the experience, and I owe it all to Pampered Chef.
See? It's simple. Set a goal. Share it with family and friends. Stay motivated, and you'll be on the beach with us on the next trip. No matter which trip you set your sights on, traveling with Pampered Chef is an incredible experience, and you will create memories that will last a lifetime. So go check out Consultants Corner right now to see all the details about how you can earn points and achieve your goals. I can't wait to travel with you in 2018. Woohoo!
Answer your question. This little tiny green hair
Okay.
is Puerto Rico. So there's Florida, there's Cuba.
It's like we're still recording. We're back together. I heard a ding, so either somebody left and came back, or somebody else joined us, maybe briefly. I think that's what the chimes mean. Anyhow, I really recommend that you go and you print the plan and come up with, sure, Pam, eat pizza.
I know, I was just thinking the same thing. I was like, really? I'm just joking.
That's okay. We have the easy artichoke appetizer in the oven and the salsa verde brunch squares. So
I would rather have that.
okay.
I can show you the Mexican
But y'all are a little far away for me to join you for that.
Yes. You take the foil off of the easy artichoke. Yeah, we got to grab the foil off of that. Yeah, and homemade sugar cookies with my recipe that I will share, because it took me 15 years to find this recipe. I knew there were good tasting sugar cookies out there somewhere. It just took me a long time to find that recipe.
Yay!
And there's a caramel mold cider on the stove as well. If you guys...
I need that recipe.
Yes. Mold.
Spices in it.
Mold. M-U-L-L-E-D, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so every trip I've ever earned, I have used a tracking sheet or the online incentive calculator, and I probably look at it, 3 times a week. Even if it hasn't changed, I still look at it. Katie's shaking her head. You know, what's my plan? I write notes to myself about my trip plan, And I am pretty much relentless. My family, when it's a family trip, they are in charge of the tracker, and they are relentless. They are pushing me out the door to do shows. They want to know what I'm doing this month. So there's a cute little flyer right here. And then there's some worksheets. You know, I think her name was Chelsea, when she was explaining, she made a plan. And she knew that she had a big plan, and she knew it needed to include both selling and recruiting. There is a small trip point adjustment of 3,500 points, I believe, for the lower level, and about 5,000 points for the higher level. But they gave additional 3,000 points for developing director, so a whopping 6,000 points for developing directors. So if somebody's on your team and they've never been a director, ka-ching, that is the way to earn this trip, is develop leaders on your team. And that's a personal conversation I would like to have with anybody who wants to do that, because what you want to do when you develop a leader on your team is you want to find the potential in people, and you want people who have matching goals as yours. And, you know, it sounds really complicated to develop a leader, but it really is not. And, you know, you can't just count on one kitchen show to get you to earn the trip. You can't just count on one consultant to earn the trip either. You have to work with a bunch of different people. So I recommend that you look at the plan and that you go through the worksheets. We're probably going to do a little bit of worksheet stuff here after we get off air. And anybody who's on my team who wants to call me and go through the 2 worksheets, I will be more than happy to go through them with them on the phone. The most important thing about earning a trip is knowing that you're going to get off track and that you have to pull yourself back on track. And how do you do that? And really the only person who knows that about you is you. She talked about having somebody to be accountable. And I think having an accountability partner is great, but sometimes it's not the people in your own home. Sometimes it needs to be another consultant who you're both invested in it, a friend who's very positive, somebody who knows you really well, but you have to choose somebody who you allow to kick when you need it kicked. Because I heard one time that a pilot, when he sets his course on the airplane, he is off course 98% of the time. But those continued adjustments that he makes gets him to the right location almost every single time. So you have to know, how am I going to book more shows? How am I going to find more recruits? How am I going to track my points? And, you know, I've had people on my team that have missed a trip by 50 points. 50 points. I cried with them. We have to make sure that you're tracking your points, or that you don't count your points before they've hatched. Because there's some points that are out there that, you know, you've developed a leader, you're counting on those points, and then they're not assigned till the very end. So there's just little things like that. So if you've never earned a trip before, we could have a 10-minute counseling appointment on how to do it. And you could be one of the third of the people who've never earned a trip. I think the reason why 2/3 of the people have earned a trip who go again is because traveling with Pampered Chef is addictive. Katie's shaking her head and laughing. Have you ever traveled, Pam? You can chime in too. Have you ever traveled that way on your own?
No. Gosh, no.
No. I mean,
for that,
we worry, you know, we have a budget and we work the budget. And even if we can do it, that's not how we were brought up. You know, we stay at a cheaper hotel. We, you know, minimize the amount of stuff that we do. And on a Pampered Chef trip, Doors are opened that you have never imagined before you're going to open and walk through. And your husband will probably say, this is a trip of a lifetime, you know. And my husband, he already said, he goes, I want to go to that Amelia Island. He's a pilot for JetBlue. He said, and once we're there, we'll go with JetBlue over to Puerto Rico. And so he's figured out how he's going to do both of them. We already had a little chat this afternoon. So, so sorry, Debbie, my girlfriend who usually travels with me. This one, Greg's saying he's going. All right. So, you know, I'm going to do some additional recognition in a different Zoom call and do some drawings later, but we're going to continue our meeting, and that is some ideas about how to have a strong start in 2017 by focusing on the holidays. Now, you might think that I don't know how the calendar works, since I just told you the holidays and focusing and 2017 in the same sentence. But I want you to think about New Year's, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, graduations, family reunions, 4th of July, picnics. There are a bunch of food holidays coming right around the corner as soon as we wrap up 2016. And I have said this over and over again. I'm going to keep saying it as long as I do Pampered Chef. You are in a advertising and entertaining business. And the better you advertise our products, the recipes, the theme shows, yourself, and the career plan, the more successful you're going to be. And that comes down to getting excited. And when you get excited about what you have to offer in January, whether it's soup and slippers shows, new entertaining, beat the blahs, whatever cute spin you can put on it, the more successful you're going to be. I can't recommend the party packs enough because they're pre-done packages that help you send cute things to your hostesses for them to post on Facebook to get excited about the recipes. One of the things we're having tonight is we're having the Taste of the World cheese balls. And they're these cute little mini cheese balls. You see them on the holiday brochure, but there's all these different wonderful variations. We're doing the Mexican version tonight, and they're really fun and they're really easy, and they fit well into a cheese and chocolate show or a cheese, wine, and chocolate show, which are very popular right now. In fact, in the next 2 weeks, I have 3 of them. So anyhow, I don't even drink, and I'm still able to do it. I put the wine in the hostess's ball game, give her a bunch of suggestions that I've heard, and I handle the cheese and chocolate. My favorite thing, Cindy said she brought the 3-minute cheese dip, and we are having that at 2 of the shows. That's super simple, in the Brie Baker cheese dip and decadent chocolate dip in the Round Baker. Just really simple. And the little mini cheese balls, you've got a chocolate and cheese show. There's a great handout on understanding different cheeses that I came across when I pulled up the information on the party pack. So you can be an expert on cheese, you know, really quickly and just kind of talk about that. So one of the things that you want to do is come up with recipes and theme shows for the upcoming holidays that are going on right now. My last show is December 17th. Does anybody have a show later than that? No? A lot of people like to have shows when their family comes to town. Just because we have Christmas cutoff ending on the 15th doesn't mean you can't do shows after the 15th. I'll probably have a couple of catalog shows, and I'll also have a couple of stocking stuffer kinds of things where people are coming over to the house with a couple of friends to get things for stocking stuffers. So if you have little odds and ends on hands, you can post those things on your Facebook page and say, hey, does anybody need any stocking stuffers? You're welcome to come over Saturday afternoon between 2 and 5 and do a little bit of stocking stuffer shopping. So remember, there are creative ideas out there that can help you. So we just got through Thanksgiving. I'm going to ask everybody who's on the call and in the room right here to just kind of chime in. What was your most useful product to prepare your Thanksgiving?
A manual food processor.
The manual food processor? What'd you make in the manual food processor?
Oh my gosh, I did onions in it. I do everything in it. I love my manual food processor. It's my favorite. I had a husband over here looking today for a Christmas present for his wife, and I was like, manual food processor. And the best part was my husband chimed in and he said, oh yeah, that's what I was doing the onions with. So it's perfect.
Okay, manual food processor.
Mine was a whipped cream maker because I did a whipped cream bar to go with dessert, and I had several people who wanted to have them, and I ended up with a catalog show because somebody did their Christmas shopping and sent stuff to kids all over the country because I took the whipped cream maker to this big family Thanksgiving.
I had a small luncheon show. There were about 5 or 6 gals there, and we sold 5 whipped cream makers today. I just made it right there in front of them. I made the cinnamon version to go with the cider, the caramel cider, and they couldn't believe how fast it came together. And, I think every single person got their whipped cream maker. So I think my pie plates were doing a lot of heavy lifting. I had 5 pies, and yes, I have that many stoneware pie plates. They are awesome. They make the best crust.
They make the best pies out there.
Yeah. I mean, my husband took pictures of my pies. I should post them. They did look pretty good. So,
Nadina, my husband was responsible for making a homemade brisket and his homemade barbecue sauce. So he, of course, used the 4-quart executive pot to make the barbecue sauce, and it always turns out fantastic.
Okay. Yeah, my husband does the turkey and the barbecue outside the Weber kettle, and so I have the whole entire kitchen ready. But I mean, I must have used 50 Pampered Chef tools. I just don't even think about, in the course of getting ready for a major holiday, how useful our tools are. And I think once you kind of pay attention to what's going, on in your kitchen, you're going to want to share that with other people. And one of the things I am hearing, I just finished, a big November, a holiday food and gift show where we helped some brand new consultants get started. And people kept coming by saying, I haven't been to a Pampered Chef show in a long time. And then when they get back there, they are having fun at the Pampered Chef shows. So, focus on getting your January going. People are going to say, well, people aren't going to have money in January. They have money in January. Most people already know if they're getting a tax refund. Most people have Christmas money and return money. And there's some of the best shows. Focus on the great hostess double points and the items that they can get. And you're going to have a great January. But book it now and double or triple book more shows than you actually want. So if I want to do 4 to 6 shows, I want to book 10 to 12 shows, because you're going to have cancellations. And where are those shows going to go? They're going to help fill your February and your March. So don't be afraid if you put 15 shows on your calendar. It'll be okay. It really will. Either that or you are really going to have a nice paycheck. And you'll still thank me once you get through it, and then you can throttle back where you need to go.
And we have points.
Yes, lots and lots and lots of points. So make sure that you set your goal, put your tracking sheet someplace and jumpstart your January. Really know what the guest specials and the host specials are. Pay attention to what's in it for them. I mean, it's so easy to say, oh, I'd like to earn a trip. Can you help me? And sometimes that works for people. But I think it works a whole lot better with, oh my gosh, I just found out January's double point month, and they've added some extra benefits for guests and some extra benefits for hostesses. Would it be okay if I sent you the flyer by email, and then we can chat about some of the things that are available? And so, you know, or I'm really excited about doing keys and chocolate shows in January, or soup and slipper shows, whatever you get excited about in January. I have done a lot of Beat the Blah show, and that's where, okay, as soon as you get through the holidays, you really are going to want to get together with your girlfriends for a fun night. So that works too. Okay. And also talking to people, Katie, are you, and Karen, have you started booking? Pam, have you started booking January? I got a booking for February today.
I've got a January. My husband that was here looking today saw the pot and pan set on the back of the catalog, and he said he couldn't afford it for Christmas for his wife, but he wanted to get one of those. And I said, well, we just need to get you a $200 show. And he said, okay, let's do it. So,
yeah. One of the things that I've been doing recently at my shows is bringing a bag of what the monthly specials are in person, what they get free, instead of just a flyer about them. You know, this month it was pretty easy. And lightweight stuff, a cookbook, and the veggie stripper. I'm talking November, you know, and actually showing them also the half-price items that are on the back of the catalog. You guys are going to make me seasick if you don't stop swaying around like that. One's going to the right and one's going to the left. Okay.
How are you going to do the cruise there, Dina?
I have a patch. I take a patch with me if I need. I usually don't need it for the big boats, but if I do any of the off-island excursions, I usually put a patch on for the little boat. My dad was a marine biologist. I had to go out on the coast of California on the rough sea way too many times in my life to do it without a patch. I know better. I know me. I'm not the best sailor in the world. Okay, so just getting excited. I know what's coming for the spring, and there are some wow products. There's some things we've never done before. How do you have a fantastic March? You have a good February. You have, oops. Hey, hello?
You're fine.
Okay. Sorry, we went black here for a minute. You have a good March, you have a good February. That's going to book your March. So it is not too early to call and say, I'm so excited. We have new products coming out in March. Would you like to have a March show? And they're going to say, well, what about January or February? If you call just for January, sometimes the people think you're desperate. But if you're calling for March, they want on your calendar. You know, there's something about that reverse psychology of, well, wait a minute, I'll slide you in March, and they want you earlier. Works for me all the time. So you might want to try that. But there's some great wow things coming, but we have a lot of wow things now. Right now, the artichoke appetizer is baking on the beautiful ceramic entertaining platter. So it's going to come out of the oven and be ready to go. I have found that when I roast my asparagus on it, it's just beautiful and ready to go on the table. And it cooks almost as good as my barb pan. So I've been really happy with cooking with our new entertaining pieces as well. They're beautiful, but they also work great. And just think of the amount of dishes that you cut down when you have a holiday party and you're entertaining if you don't have a cooking piece and a serving piece. Because does anybody love to do dishes? Anybody? Okay, just checking because I know people who like to iron, and I think ironing is disgusting. Almost as disgusting as wrinkled clothes. And Katie's laughing because I've been known to iron other people's clothes at conference. Huh, Katie? Okay.
That's why we love you, Dina.
She doesn't like ironing, but she hates people wearing wrinkled clothes even more.
Wrinkles are bad. They are so bad.
On your face or on your clothes. You don't need wrinkles, right?
Okay.
Anyhow, so absolutely, it has, traveling is great, but just getting a plan for your business. Maybe earning a trip is not your plan, okay? Maybe it's not in the cards right now, but upping your business is. And, I shared recently on a director email that all of our directors, all of our director teams made their numbers for November. And that was it just made me so happy to see every team strong. I don't want it just in October and November. I'd love to see that all year long. Because when teams are strong, people are making money. When people are making money, they want to stay with this business, and they're able to secure some of their financial dreams. But I went to a Barbara Duke training in October, and Barbara talked about dreams, and I realized that we used to have a bonus program where if you sold $1,250, you got a $25 bonus. Or if you sold $2,500, you got a $50 bonus. If you sold $4,000, you got a $100 bonus. And then if you did it 3 months in a row, you got a quarterly bonus. So if you averaged the $1,250, you got an additional $25, which could end up to be $100, in 3 months. Or $200 in at the $2,500 level, or the larger bonus. And that was just always me money. I wanted that money. I didn't have to justify it. A bonus just sounds like a treat, doesn't it? You get to treat yourself with that bonus. And it was a psychology thing in my head. And I realized, well, they kind of incorporated it in a higher percentage, and I could figure out what that percentage was. And I figured if I sold around $3,000 a month, then my bonus that month was about $75. So I started looking at some things in my house that had worn out that I was having a hard time justifying replacing or getting. And I just started making a list of what I wanted to get each month if I sold $3,000. And that I would take that money and I would get new car seats that are just mine. So if I am babysitting, I can take the kids to Dairy Queen if I want to, because grandma has her own car seats, I needed a new pressure cooker. Mine had died. Now they have these Instant Pot digital, they're doing everything with the pressure cookers. And mine had bit the dust, after owning it 10 years, I needed a new one. So I made these lists. Does anybody have something on their bucket list that's concrete that they want to do that will get them to book extra shows because you want something? Anybody?
I book extra shows because I'm with you, and I check my my points three times a week at least. Because for me, the trips are a big deal. I earned Mexico on the 15th of November. It's the earliest I've ever earned the second level trip, and it'll be the third second level trip that I'm on. But I have to be steady. I have to have a plan every month, and I have to go for it every month. And unlike the first year that I went for a trip, I missed it by not that many points. And I did it. The reason that it happened was because once I got ahead, I thought, oh, I won't do as much next month because I'm already ahead. Well, then it only took a couple months to tank, and I didn't earn the trip. So I never made that mistake again. Once I got ahead, I stayed ahead, and I've earned every trip since. But that's why I book my extra shows, and that's why I invite people to my team too, because I really like the trips a lot.
So if you're a trip junkie or you have you just like work for money or whatever, that's great. But a lot of you, if you just book 2 or 3 shows a month, you could really pay off a credit card or, next month, I promised myself when I had a good December, and I'm having a good December, that I got to get a new meat slicer. I wanted a meat slicer. And so I play these little games with myself. And even if I'm not going for a trip, you can set your own carrots. The company has a lot of rewards for doing 2 shows or different things that we can earn. Right now we're having a free-for-all. I'm excited that I'm having a good December because I'm interested in getting free products. When you promote to a director, you get free products. But even though I'm getting free products as a director, I'm still very excited about earning some products as a consultant. It gives me the ability to lend out stuff or to give things like, as soon as I got my kids' stuff, my granddaughter took it. She had her own set. She wanted the baking set and she wanted the pizza set. And, she didn't understand that I had to wait a couple more weeks to get the next set in. Those were hers. You show them to her, Pam's shaking her head there. The kids think that stuff is theirs. And so it was really great that I earned 2 sets. So, but I give you permission because, again, you know what trips your trigger better than anything else. And do you need to play? And I thought that was great when Barbara Duke said that she played games with herself all the time. And I'm like, I used to play games with myself. I can go back to doing that. So really, I want you to focus on what's coming up. What do you want? How do you go make it happen? There's a little saying, be a victor, not a victim. And that is really important, how you look at things. Is it woe was me or whoa, baby, look what I just did? So, have fun with your business. Have it be advantageous to the people in your household too. And I know, Katie, for a long time, your business was very satisfying for you, but your boys weren't on board with that. What did you do to get your family members on board with you?
I brought them to Disneyland with me.
Now, how do they feel about your business? Did they like that honeymoon you took with your husband?
They didn't mind it so bad. They got to go with their papa and grandma, but they each have a part to my business. The younger one has to do all the catalogs and order forms and stuff, the folders for me. And the older one puts everything from my kit on the table so that I make sure I pack the right tools for the show. So they each have a job to do, and we are buying them into the Mexico trip so that they can come with us. But no, they did. They thought I was working too much, and then we found the perfect balance. But that's the thing. I do 4 live cooking shows a month, and the rest are online. And with that, I'm still earning trips. So even if you don't want to do 12, 15, 18, 20 shows a month, you can still earn these trips.
The most I've ever done in a month was 13. And I think I only did that once, I've done 12 quite a few times, but my sweet spot is between 6 and 8. And, throwing some catalog shows and recruiting, getting consultants off to a strong start, those are the plans. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sign off here. But unless Katie, Pam, do you have anything to add, Cindy? No? Katie, what's your best trip achievement tip?
Just track your numbers And instead of adding on twice the amount of shows that you want to do, use the host coaching sheets to make each show that you do $1,000 show.
Okay. Yeah. Hostess coach, hostess coach, hostess coach. So, and overbook.
And oddly enough, the more you do for other people, the more you get back, because they are the better shows, the more that, yeah.
Katie, you do 4 live shows a month. How many do you routinely book and put on your calendar? 6?
I always have extra online shows in case, but I usually only book about 5 in case of a cancellation. And luckily, knock on wood, the cancellation ones are usually because it's one of my new recruits' first show.
Okay. So, yeah, that's a great reason not to have a show is because you recruited the hostess. Do you use the same host coaching methods for your online parties as you do with your live shows and catalog shows?
I try to. I'm not as successful with the phone calls with the online people because generally speaking, and I don't know what's with the Montana people and stuff like that, but it's because they're busy and that's why they're doing an online show. And so it's kind of hard to get them for that, but I still chat with them often, usually Facebook messaging, and yeah.
Okay. All right, Pam, you earned Disney with your family. What's your best tip for earning a trip?
I earned Disney by simply knowing my why and setting a goal. We have a big why in our house. I know you know, and most people don't, but my husband is what most would consider terminally ill. And we wanted to make a memory with our kids. And so this was the only way we were going to be able to afford it. Puerto Rico is sounding like a pretty good memory to make. So I would say know your why and make that why your reason and go for it.
And share your why with other people.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're, they like to hear that. And as bad as it sounds, people, you get that guilt thing or that sympathy vote. Use it and go for
it. Okay, Cindy, what's your best tip?
Be consistent. Decide what you're going to do and follow through. Don't let it be because you didn't follow through that something didn't happen.
Okay. My best tip is make visual cues and reminders what your goal is and keep them in front of you. And check that tracker all the time. And when you don't like what you see, do something about it. All right, guys. It is almost 7:30. We're going to sign off. Bye.
Bye.